This is a Willets Point Shea Stadium bound 7 express train. The next and last stop is Willets Point, Shea Stadium.
Oh, yes, it is the Subway to Shea Podcast. Anthony Rivera here with you, talking about all the news and happenings surrounding that team from Queens, the New York Mets. It's episode 249 from the Subway to Shea studios in my office. You can follow Subway to Shea on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Subway to Shea. You can follow me personally at Ant Rivera86 and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you prefer to listen to the show, which will be up after this live stream is done. But if you want to be a part of the chat, you want to be a part of the conversation, you're doing that right here on YouTube, and you can support the Subway to Shea podcast with super chat, super stickers, and super thanks, which is all now available. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're in a new month now, the new month of May, and hopefully a new version of the New York Mets comes to play, because April was not pretty, probably one of their worst in franchise history. I think top 3 worst, talking about 62, 63. And now this start to this season was absolutely horrific. And the Mets start off the May with a series win, a much needed series win. Yes, it's against the Angels. Yes, they're probably the second worst team in baseball, but you know, good teams beat bad teams. And if you want to be a good team in the league, you got to take care of business against these bad teams. Now, I'm not saying the Mets are a good team. I mean, we haven't seen consistent good play from them. But if there's any way to start, this is a promising start, right? You got to win by any means necessary. And this team is trying to overcome a awful April, which usually happens in June or July every year. This time it happens in April. So hopefully this is the turning point for this team. But they're dealing with a lot of injuries. They're dealing with a lot of bad play, and they're also dealing with a manager that has made some questionable moves. And we're going to get all into that, but I want to bring on my guest for this week. We linked up with Hector, Blunt Thoughts, during a panel in the offseason. And this is Ant Squared today. Ant Ant from the I'd Hit That podcast. Great to have you on the show finally. And look, Ant, I mean, this has been just an awful start to the season. From where we were talking in the offseason about lineups and, you know, who are going to be the X factors for this team. I mean, none of that. We could just pretty much scrape that episode right off the wall, because it has been just a frustrating start to the season. So I just want to get your thoughts, initial thoughts on what we've seen this first month.
First of all, thanks for having me, Ant. I wanted to be on for a while, and finally it happened. So thank you. And I'll give you my thoughts right off the bat. This team stinks. They stink. I'm not going to be lured in by a series win against a team that's probably worse than them.
Yep.
You're right. Step in the right direction. All that. I get it. I was happy. Last night I went to sleep annoyed. But that's what they are. They're peaks, well, way more valleys than peaks.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a huge hole to dig out of. And I mean, we could say it starts with the manager, but I think it starts with Stearns. I think whatever he put together, and we spoke about this on Hector's roundtable. We did it right before the season.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give him a chance. I can't stand the guy, but I wanted to give him a chance. Here's what annoys me, Ant. He didn't do anything for a while. Right? Pete leaves. He trades Nimmo. He gets rid of McNeil. He gets rid of 3 guys that showed up every night to play. Right?
Yeah.
He says this whole run prevention garbage. And then he lets Pete go, and he replaces him with a bunch of guys that can't play first base. So Pete's so bad. He replaced him with a bunch of guys that are worse than him. I don't understand it. And then he puffed his chest out. Look, I got you Bichette. I got you Freddie Peralta, who, by the way, is not an ace. The dude's a 3. And I ain't giving that dude 5 or 6 years. But we went through all of this with Hector. And I think it was you and Hector, I believe, that said Senga was the wild card, right?
Yeah.
How'd that work out? I'm not sure my wild card was any better because mine was Sean Manaea.
The thing is, when you have Kodai Senga be on, right? He could be one of the best pitchers in that rotation. And the fact that he has been awful this whole entire season is just an antithesis of what we've seen from this rotation entirely. There's been really two good pieces to the rotation in Clay Holmes, who got the series win against the Angels, and we'll get into him a little bit later on in the show, as well as Nolan McLean. But besides that, the starting pitching has been iffy. Like you said, Freddie Peralta's not an ace. He's not going to get a big contract from the Mets. I would not give him a big contract. And that's not something that David Stearns does if he's still here
right.
at
That's
the end
true.
of this season, because, as much as I even said, this guy's going to finish out the 5 years no matter what, right? Like they wanted, Steve Cohen wanted David Stearns, and he's going to get the 5 years out of him. But you're looking at a collapse last season, and if what we saw in April is what this team is, and that was a more healthier team that we're getting right now. If that's the team that we're getting for the entire season, and we're talking about 65, 75 wins, I mean, if you're not cutting the cord after that, I don't know what to tell you. And this segues into really the first topic of the show, and that's, Carlos Mendoza's job being safe. I think it was David Stearns who said on Friday with Anthony DeComo of MLB.com, and this is a direct quote from him. He goes, "We know our record is not what we want it to be, and we know we are capable of more. We don't view this as a manager problem, and we don't intend to make a change." So David Stearns has doubled down on the manager. We've seen managers go already, right? Alex Cora, who's a guy that I kind of want the Mets to get. He's one of the highest winning percentage managers out there. Got a world championship with Boston. He got let go by the Red Sox. Rob Thompson, who has one of the highest winning percentages in Phillies history and took them to the World Series. He was let go from the Phillies and replaced by Don Mattingly. But the Mets hold on to Carlos Mendoza. This is, he got them to the NLCS in 2024. I don't know how much of an involvement he had between him and what the players did in the clubhouse.
They got him to the NLCS, right?
With leadership from Jose Iglesias, Lindor, obviously JD Martinez being a part of that. And then you have this collapse in 2025, which was kind of worse than what happened in 2023 with Buck. And Stearns was like, Buck Showalter done, but we'll keep his team. We'll get rid of Buck. We'll keep his team. And then they do the exact opposite. And Mendoza gets a new staff now this year. I just feel like, shouldn't you get rid of an entire staff and start fresh instead of keeping and placing in puzzle pieces? It's just weird to me to get rid of an entire staff, keep Mendoza, and have done that the opposite way when he first came in.
He's keeping Mendoza because once he gets rid of him, then he's on the clock. He's keeping his scapegoat around for now. He's going to try to fix it. I don't know what he's going to do to fix it, but that's his little plan, is to keep him until, because once he says, "Carlos, you're done," his seat is hot.
Yeah.
So
he'll get really one more manager change.
Yeah, but it has to be the right manager. It can't be like Kai Correa, right?
Yeah. And that's why I was a little iffy when people wanted to fire Mendoza in the first place, because as much as he should go, the fact that you're probably getting Kai Correa or Andy Green, who's the minor league field coordinator, that's what you're getting. You're not getting Carlos Beltran, because Carlos Beltran has he's got the Hall of Fame coming up in July. He's getting his number retired. Like, to have to deal with a team and all of these events just doesn't make sense for him. Alex Cora obviously was reached out to by the Phillies to come over because the relationship with Dombrowski over there, and he said no. So he's probably going to wait until the offseason to see what options are available. Like it just, as much as I probably wanted to see Mendoza go, the options coming from that weren't going to be something that was going to, like Dusty Baker wasn't coming here.
Is he still alive?
Dusty Baker, he was the manager for Team Nicaragua in the WBC.
Yep, WBC, yeah. Yep.
So, like you said, that makes 100% sense that, he's holding on to him because that seat gets hotter once he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He doesn't. Stearns is a lot of things, but he ain't dumb. He ain't dumb. He's like, hell no, I ain't putting my ass on the line. Hell no, I'm going to try to make this better. And then eventually it's going to come from Steve Cohen anyway. Like, I just, look, man, I was reading something and I think it was the Daily News. Yeah, Bill Madden. And he said the same exact thing. The same exact thing. They should get rid of Stearns, he said. He said, but what are they going to do? Who are they going to get if they get rid of Stearns? Who's it going to be? All right.
I don't know. Like at this point, like I thought that this team was going in the right direction as soon as they signed Juan Soto, right? Like they came off of that year getting in 2 games of the World Series. They signed Soto. I wasn't as enthusiastic about the rest of the moves that they made in the offseason that would take them to the postseason again, but I didn't think it was going to end as bad as it did.
As bad, correct. Right. I feel exactly the same way.
You go from having a fan base that's like trending in the right direction. I mean, the fan base has been through so much over the last, 40 years since the last time this team's won the World Series. And you feel like, the minor league system is finally coming together. They're finally putting a roster on the field that's going to come together. And then again, it's the Mets. And Mets are going to Mets.
They're going to Mets.
That's what it felt like. Mm-hmm. So now we're in a spot where I don't know, right? Like you change the manager. I don't know if that's going to really do anything. They've changed the roster. That's completely gotten worse and has not done anything that they said it was going to do. So it's like we're at a point where I don't know what's going to work. The fact that, you have the president of baseball operations, it's also the you just might as well have one position. It's either the president of baseball operations or the general manager. I don't think we need to have all of it. I mean,
it's semantics, really, Ant.
Yeah.
It's semantics.
Cohen owns the team. We got a general manager, and then you got the man. Like, there's just too much stuff, too many new positions in baseball, and it's getting a little bit ridiculous, especially with this team. But with, David Stearns, too, now he's taking – now this is really on him moving forward, right? He keeps Carlos Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
And, if he gets rid of him, he's on the hot seat. But also now I kind of feel like Carlos Mendoza, whatever happens during the season. This is now falls strictly on David Stearns.
Of course.
And how is he going to fix it?
Yep. And is he good enough to fix it? Being in Milwaukee and being in New York are two different things.
Yeah.
I was happy with the Bo Bichette thing, and I still think he's gonna hit 290. Maybe he's gonna have a decent year. He was playing a decent third base. He sucked in the beginning, but he started playing a decent third base. Made a stupid error today after making a great play, and because let's bring that up about today. He makes the great play, then he makes the play that Pete would have made at first base that Vientos didn't make, right? Yeah. And he should have loaded up and thrown hard. Instead, he threw that little one bouncer and Vientos couldn't handle it. And they gave him an error. Okay. Then Mendoza comes out and takes out Clay Holmes. Why can't he ever come out and go, come on, big boy, get me this one more out. We're going to get you a win. Give him a pat on the ass. Let's go, man. Get this. Come on, pump. It's always coming out, It's so predetermined. Who's he go to? Luke Weaver, who's sucked lately, although he was okay today, but of course gave up the hit. These guys can't get 1, 2, 3 innings at all. And it just annoys me that well, the reality is none of these managers do that anymore. You got to remember, I'm 62 years old. I'm old enough to remember 1969. Okay? These guys pitched. They didn't come out of games. If they were going to come out of a game, if the manager came out of the dugout, Tom Seaver, Bob Gibson, Carlton, all these had to be like, get back in the dugout, man. Whoever you're bringing in is not better than me. That's another thing. Go down with your best. Stop going down with these inferior relievers. What is a reliever, Ant? A reliever is a failed starter. Go down with your best. If you leave them in there and you get beat, you know what? I went down with my best. These guys don't do that. They don't do that anymore.
No, baseball is so different now. And the thing is, too, he started off doing that in 2024. Like, he kept Jose Quintana in to finish the inning.
Yes.
He kept Sean Manaea in to finish the inning. What changed? What changed from the honeymoon phase of the relationship from manager and players to now? Was it after they made the playoffs where like, it's really us who's really doing all the work here. The manager's just, making mistakes.
Yep.
Like even this week, and this is where I feel like Carlos Mendoza lost me like forever. You have this team not being able to hit. Finally, they get a hitter in MJ Melendez, who, it was going to be a dime a dozen if he could become the player that he was supposed to be in Kansas City.
He was a top
prospect. He was a top prospect as a catcher in the Royals system. Didn't work out there. The Mets picked him up and said, that'd be a nice bench piece, a nice, rotational outfield piece. The kid's hitting. And, they bring in this other guy. You're talking about the guys that they bring up, Austin Slater. MJ Melendez has a 3-run home run, another hit, and I think he had a walk. Late in the game, it's lefty versus MJ Melendez, who's a lefty, and they take him out.
Pinch hits for him,
Pinch hit for Austin Slater, and the answer from Mendoza is, well, we need the lefty versus the righty. Why?
Why?
He's hitting. He'll hit anybody at this point.
I thought Slater was a hockey player, Ant.
Yeah. If he goes down, like you said, you're going down with your best player at bat.
Best. Right.
It makes more sense. I just don't understand some of the decisions that Carlos Mendoza has made this season that have cost his team games. That's sometimes managers cost the teams at least 10 to 15 games.
Yeah, I would say
on their own.
Every year. Yeah.
On their own.
Yeah,
how about
absolutely.
The second game against the Angels? You talked about that, the game that they lost. He does not challenge the play
at home plate
at home
at third, right? From third,
clearly out,
right,
and clearly would not have been a run scored. They did not challenge, and they got help from the booth. I don't get it.
Why didn't he challenge that bobble with the glove today? Why didn't he challenge it? Who gives a shit? Challenge it.
It's like they don't. And yesterday's one happened in the first inning. It's like they don't want to lose the challenge in the first inning, but it was clear as day. We saw it on camera. The guy I don't know what the guy that they have. It's like everything in the Mets organization is just not working this year. As good as that guy was in the booth a couple years ago and last year.
If it's the same guy.
If it is the same guy. And then in the post game, Mendy throws him under the bus.
Yeah.
He said, usually this guy gets everything right. And this time he didn't get it right. It's like,
I didn't see
Mendy.
it.
Come on, Mendy.
That's awful.
It's just been so frustrating watching him during post game press conferences now and have to answer these questions for some of the most simplest things. And this is where Mendy has lost a lot of the fan base. And David Stern's doubling down. By all means, go ahead, because now this is on you, my friend. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, he doubled down on himself, really.
Yeah.
That's what he did. I picked this lousy manager. Now I have to live with him. but if I fire him, it's my ass. So, yeah, he doubled down on himself. But I mean, how do you think Steve Cohen feels about this shit right now?
I don't know, because Steve Cohen also as well can get on your nerves.
Oh,
and he's
easily
done that multiple times already this season. I love Steve Cohen, and I love the fact that what he's done for not only the history of the team, what he's done at Citi Field for, for the fans, all that stuff. But when it comes time for this team to hit the field and play ball, and this guy is complaining about fans not being in the stands like he did in spring training last year, or, anytime the team gets some kind of a win, he comes out and he speaks on X. Right after that, the team goes on a nosedive. Like, just stop, man. Stop.
I got to go back to last night's game, because you just said something that reminded me of it. Austin Warren comes in, right? And he gets the 2 outs. And Gary Cohen got to start with the MVP thing. Shut up! What are you doing? As soon as I said, here we go. We're done. I had the remote in my hand. Here we go. Because I know this is over.
Had a rough couple years, the last couple
He's
years.
lost a lot off the fastball, man.
And you can take note. If you haven't done it, anyone who's listening in the chat, take note. Anytime a big moment happens and Gary Cohen, it's like automatic jinx. I feel it's automatic jinx every time.
Yep, he did it last night.
I don't know what's happened.
Yep. He
Still
did it
the
last
best
night.
youth in baseball. Still love hearing them and talking to them. I like listening to the radio too with Howie Rose and Keith Rad. But man, you keep note of the jinxes from Gary.
Oh yeah,
it happens. It
happens
with this
all
team.
the time. Yep.
It's unbelievable.
He's not as good as he used to be. He's still very good, but he's not as good as he used to be. I mean, he's getting old. He's got to be close to 70, right?
Yeah, they're in what, year 18, 19, or
20 or something like that.
Yeah, actually, you're 20 now of this 3-team with Keith Hernandez. And,
is it really
Ron
3
Darr.
teams? Because they're never really together.
Maybe a couple series they're together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Keith Hernandez just had the back surgery too,
Yeah.
so he's been out for a while. But
yeah, he's all jacked up on opioids right now.
Back is no joke. The back is no joke.
I
I mean, ask Kodai Senga now, because unless that's a phantom injury.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We got 52 people in the room right now. Let's get into some of the comments here. Rosie K saying, there were always far too many question marks in the rotation, bullpen, and lineup. It was always going to fail. That's something that, every offseason, you always try to answer the ifs of the team. And it feels like David Stearns this year made more ifs than take away any ifs.
Yes.
With pitching, right? This team has always struggled with walks. So they get rid of the pitching coach. They bring in a new guy, pitching a little bit better this year with the starters and the relievers. I feel like this pitching staff has been better than it was last year. But as with the season goes on with the Mets, right? They hit, they can't pitch. And then when they pitch, they can't hit. So
can't hit.
It's just frustrating when it comes to that. But what do you think of not being able to solve some of these ifs and bring on more? Like, I go back to, I don't know if you saw the movie Moneyball.
Of course,
you talked about first base and repeating Pete Alonso. It feels like the exact same replication of the story where they got
Hatterberg.
Giambi, they bring in Scott Hatterberg and Jeremy Giambi and a couple other guys, and obviously it works to get them to the playoffs. And we'll see what happens here. But it feels like the same story.
You froze.
Has made this team a laughing stock, so embarrassing. It has felt like that, at least for the first month. And then she also goes on saying Stearns' ego won't hire a general manager.
100%.
Or what do you feel also about this comment from Armand saying the GM is just a title. They don't make the moves. Example, the Phillies have Dave Dombrowski as the president of baseball operations. I mean, the Mets are the ones who were like, oh, we're going to hire a president of baseball operations. We're going to hire a general manager. And then when it didn't work out, they keep asking Stearns every year, hey, are you going to hire a general manager? So it really feels like the Mets are the ones that are putting themselves in more pickles than they should be.
Yeah, they like being in them pickles, man. I don't know, man. Like I said, I was not happy with Stearns coming over anyway. But I guess we got to ride him out, man. I guess we got to ride him out. The other thing that annoys me is seeing Steve Cohen at a Knicks game while the team's in a 11 or 12 game losing streak. That annoyed me so much. I'm like, I don't want my face seen while my team stinks. Because what's going to happen? People are yelling at him. You guys suck.
Did the Knicks also lose that game? It was like I
think that was like game 2. I think that was game 2 against Atlanta.
That was a comeback too.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes.
Right. That's right.
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Rosie Case.
The Cohens are jinxes. Steve and Gary.
Rosie K is saying, I think that Stearns is stubborn and refuses to change when things don't work. I don't trust him to build the roster and don't trust him to handle the sell-off. He's not a fit in New York City. Goes to what you were saying earlier, and the same thing with what Game for War was saying. You said earlier as well, Stearns loves and defends, he calls him Membozo because he's a scapegoat for Stearns, who with his analysis team really manages the team. Mendoza is a lackey. Let's get into that really quickly because the difference between the analytics and the eye test has become a big issue here in baseball for a lot of teams. And if you don't have a really good analytics team, I don't even know how really good the Mets analytics team is. I mean,
there's a lot of them now.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them on here, but they were so far behind when the Wilpons were around. It was like, oh, now with David Stern, with Steve Cohen and David Stearns here, the analytics team is gonna, be the best in baseball. Where is that? I mean, it is replacing Austin Slater putting him in again for MJ Melendez, who's hot at the plate. Is that a part of that analytics? Because it's not working.
No, and they rely way too much on the analytics. If I'm a manager, I will welcome your analytical information, but I'm going to manage the game. Sure, maybe I'll take a look. Okay, but I'm going to go
reference.
Baseball is gut, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gut. It's not numbers. A company is numbers. Baseball is not numbers. And it's weight. That's why all these men, most of them are puppets. Basically, all of them. All these GMs want to be in charge. I think Cashman does it with Boone. That's why Boone's been around. But Cashman, I know you don't want to bring up the Yankees or anything, but Cashman surrounds himself with people like Brian Sabian, Omar Minaya. He's got like 2 or 3 other guys that were either general managers or assistant general. They know the game. Who does Stearns surround himself with? Somebody's got to have the balls to go to him and go, yo, man, I don't think that shit's going to work, man. He won't listen to them. I read another thing today that says he doesn't listen to his scouts or even his analytical people because he is the smartest guy in the room and he knows it all. And this is a Met insider, allegedly. So, and it's everything that me and you have probably said a million times.
Yeah.
And I believe it. The guy's ego it walks into the room 10 minutes before he does. So I don't know, man. I think I hope not, man, because I got 20 years left, man. I just want to see one. Look, I was around in 86. I was 22 years old. I got to enjoy that, but I want to enjoy one. Like my son said, Dad, what'd you do to me, man? Like, what did you're killing me? The Jets, the Knicks, the Mets. He's an Islander fan and I'm a Ranger fan, and we fight about that. But my man's suffering. He's 33 years old. He's suffering. I want to enjoy one with him.
I was thinking to myself, like, the Mets are the one team that I have to have my son be a part of. And I'm now thinking about, like, do I really want to put him
Yeah, maybe
through
not.
that pain and torture for his whole entire life? But, it's just, I mentioned this to Hector last week. Love the 86 team. Love that they honor them. But honestly,
Move
I'm
on.
tired of it.
Yeah.
I want to see one.
Mhm.
I want to see this team win a championship. I was born 2 weeks after they won, so I didn't get to see any of that.
No, you did not. You did not.
So they have to figure out. I don't know how they're going to do it, but this Cohen's got to figure out a way. He opened up his big mouth when he first came onto the scene and said, "We'll win this within 5 years." Well, now it's
3 to 5 years. Yep.
now it's year 6. But Maureen in the chat saying they rely too much on analytics. Can't go more than 2 times through the lineup.
I'm
DJ's
so
classic.
tired of hearing Gary Cohen say that too. Oh, he's facing the lineup for the 3rd time. So what? What?
Doc faced lineups 4 or 5 times in a row. I mean, well, he got. I don't even know if he got to 4 times in the lineup. He was so good that he only needed 3. But this guy pitched into 10 innings. Tom Seaver, how many times did he pitch into 10 innings in one season? It's unreal.
You couldn't take those guys out.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's my boy Dennis. That's my partner on Radio Gunk, DJ's Classic Garage, Dennis.
He says this is so indicative of current baseball GMs stay around way too long. Managers no longer manage or on gut feelings and yank pitchers and hitters on stats. And that's the thing too. It's really standard, right? Okay, you're gonna come in here. I hope you get through 5 or 6 innings, but if we get through the 3rd time in the order, we're taking you out no matter what.
Taking your ass out. Yep.
That's where the frustration gets.
Yeah. How many pitches did Holmes throw today? 99 or something like that?
I have to double check the number of pitches, but I know for Nolan McLean, only I think 78.
Why did he take him out?
And he pitched through
four innings he pitched?
But I know for a fact that Nolan McLean did not throw many pitches. I think it was 78 through 5.
I don't even think he made it through the 5th. I think he made it today. Just through the 4th inning.
He didn't get to the 5th. Yeah, he didn't get to the 5th.
Why are you taking him out? That dude's your ace. Why are you taking him out? Because think about it. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, right? If he would have pitched through the 6th inning, that would have been a quality start, allegedly, right? So why are you yanking his ass in the 4th inning? I don't understand. It's so frustrating to me. I know I'm an old man. I'm yelling, an old man yelling at clouds. I get it. But it is very frustrating for me, man. I just grew up in a different era, so
baseball's just it's gone in a different direction, and they want to make it more. They want to make it more fan friendly for everybody, and I don't know about some of the moves that they've made to do that have been the right things to do. So, some want to talk about the offense here too. Rosie K saying the Mets roster mostly consists of AAA hitters. It's completely unacceptable. There's just been so many injuries too at this point. Like with Lindor going down and Mauricio going down, now you're left with Vidal Brujan and the Carlos Arroyos of the world. Now they have Bro Bichette playing shortstop, but I mean, I don't know how depth-wise you can get to get this roster to be any better, considering all the injuries that the team has went through. It's just the injuries have been killer this season for this team.
You know what else I've read today? Joel Sherman, who I don't want to say I can't stand him, but first of all, he's a Yankee fan, so. Yeah. But he was talking about how are they going to make it better? What trades could they do? Could they make to make this better? And one of them was to trade Soto. I'm like, are you kidding me? How are they going to trade Soto? First of all, who's gonna take him? Right? The Mets would have to pay a contract. Right. And so, he can leave, opt out after 3 more years, right?
Yeah.
Why would you even, and he's still 26, 27? Why would you even entertain that thought? But it's the same thing
I saw one today. It was Francisco Lindor for Fernando Tatis Jr. What does that do? What is that going to do to?
It's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to it. It can't just be that.
I think, I don't know how you feel, but I think I'm way past the point of making this season's team better.
Oh, I agree.
Because they're going to have to go to battle with what they have at this point. To make this team, like, I'm thinking of making this team better for the next couple seasons, especially after what is a supposed lockout that's coming next year.
Oh,
that's
it's
what
coming.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's coming.
But to make this team better, like someone said, trade for Christian Walker for offense. I'm like, I don't really know if that's going to thread the needle. I mean, they're not playing good defense. They're not, scoring enough runs. Like, is Christian Walker going to be the guy to save this team? Like, it's not like Mike Piazza's walking into a team that's struggling.
Correct.
Like, it's not those days anymore.
So say they trade for Christian Walker, right? Who's a very good first baseman, and he's a pretty good hitter, right? 20, 22, 23 homers, right? 80, 85 RBIs, maybe on a good year. If you let Vientos play every day, you may not get that same defense, but you may get more offense, right? I want to see what Vientos can do. I want to see it. This season is what it is right now. Let's see what I'm done with Beatty. But let's see what Vientos can do. Let's see what Mauricio can do. That's why today I didn't know he was hurt. And I'm like, why isn't he playing second base? He should be playing second base. I don't understand. And of course he's hurt, so I didn't know that. But I want to see what these guys can do. Benj has been playing a little better. I'm still not sold on him. He made a great catch today. Got a big hit today. He's still hitting 180.
Big catch in the 9th inning too.
Oh, what a catch. What
flew.
a catch by MJ Melendez, by the way.
Mm-hmm. They had some good defense today.
Very good. Like I said, even that play, I know Bichette made the error right after that, but the play before that, he was basically in left field when he made that throw. Yeah, they did play really good defense today. I'm sick of Simeon already. Oh God, he does nothing.
You weren't a big
me.
fan in the offseason either, I don't think, right?
No.
Like, yeah.
No, because remember we had that we both spoke about how we had to trade Nimmo's contract. Not Nimmo the player, Nimmo the contract.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna let Pete go and McNeil go, and you're gonna get rid of Nimmo, you should have kept either Nimmo or Pete. One or the other you should have kept. If Pete left, then excuse my language, fuck it. You just live with Nimmo's contract, right? Or the other way around, you get rid of Nimmo and you keep Pete, which is what I would have done. But and I know Pete I think he had a pretty good weekend in Yankee Stadium. I know he had a few homers or something. But that to me was the beginning of the ball rolling downhill really, really quick. You had McNeil, I get it, but you had to keep either one of them, Nimmo or Alonso. You're going to tell me those guys were that bad in the clubhouse that they were so toxic they had to get rid of both of them? I don't believe any of that. Maybe Lindor's the one that's toxic, and that's my Boricua boy. I don't want to talk bad about him, but who knows? Who knows?
People believe it. People believe that he is the problem on this team. I hate the clubhouse talk. I hate them talking because we just don't know what's happening in there. And then people write about it. And then we find out years later what happened and why these guys don't like each other. It just, I try to now, I'm past it. Like I'm past the whole, Alonso not being here. And like, we're just stuck. We're stuck with this mess that David Stearns has, kind of put us in here, and it just hasn't gotten better. And I hope that Mark Vientos can find himself, and he really should just be the DH. Like, let him focus on hitting. Like the first,
I agree with that too. I'm fine
having
with that.
having to be the DH is way better than having him, trying to play defense, trying to play first base, and then messing up. Now he hit 2 big home runs in the series finale against LA. But another problem is that Juan Soto's injured and he can only DH at this moment in time. So the Mets are kind of stuck here with these guys playing out of position. And look, the baby Mets, and anytime the Mets label certain players, Generation K,
Generation K, yeah,
what was
they
it?
sucked.
The Fab Four last year that Steve Cohen. It never works out, and I feel like this baby Mets thing has pretty much run its course. I like Brett Beatty as a person. I met him at the Queens Baseball Convention last year. Nice guy, but I think we've run the course. I think we may have run the course with Brett Beatty. I think we've run the course with Mark Vientos, because once you sign with Scott Boras, I mean, you better be a legit hitter.
Yeah, what is he thinking, man?
I don't know what he's thinking there. Even who put it in the chat? I think it was Maureen. Francisco Alvarez. I mean, this is a guy who was a top prospect in the entire league, the number 1 prospect. And he has not shown that to me when he's been healthy on the field. And it feels like his defense has slacked.
Has regressed. Yes, I agree.
He's grounded into so many double plays. Now, let me ask you something about his defense. Does it bother you that this kid is sitting on one knee on the ground while catching? This is why so many balls go past him. I mean,
but they all do it, man. They all do it. That's the way they're taught. That's the way they're taught. I just
don't like it. Get on your knees, man. Sit on your knees.
No, I don't understand it, man. They do. I mean, I will say this. I believe Terrence does the same thing, and Terrence is like light years ahead of Alvarez as a catcher.
Defensively, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It could be offensively too.
He could be. He got a little exposed last year, but still, he's so good behind the. These guys can't run on him. And he signed an extension, huh? Good for him.
He did. Yeah. Let's get into that, because Luis Terrence did sign, I think it was a 2-year extension with the New York Mets. And I want to know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Because is it, they're kind of paying him a lot of money to be the backup catcher, or like, is there going to be something that goes down
something
with Alvarez?
Yeah, you don't know.
A lot of people have been asking that on X. So what do you think? What's going to happen with Alvarez? You think they're going to move to DH? I mean, a lot of catchers move to first base because they don't have a first baseman.
You can't catch a catcher. He's going to catch at first base.
I mean, we've seen both spectrums, right? Like, we've seen the Mike Piazza move to first base.
Yeah.
We've seen the Contreras move, which has been pretty decent for St. Louis. So, like, I just wonder, like, what are they thinking going into, I guess the trade deadline next year? Like, what is their, like, are they tired of Francisco Alvarez not turning the corner? I don't know.
It's not his fault that he's batting third, though, right? That's a lot of pressure for him.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be batting third. He should be batting 5th, 6th, whatever, but not third. But I really like he puts it out there, man, and he cares. I have no problem with Alvarez. Yes, he's very, like I said before, a lot more valleys than peaks, but I'm not disenchanted with his season so far. His batting average could be a little higher. Okay. But apparently people don't give a shit about batting average anymore in baseball, right? So but you're right. The double plays are just alarming. Oh my God. But how much did Terrence get?
Terenz's deal, 2-year extension worth $11.5 million. That's a lot isn't that a lot for a backup catcher?
It's 5.5, right? 5.5 a year. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, you're right though. I wouldn't have a problem with Alvarez DHing. I would not have a problem with that. But this is it for him. Like, this is his. It's now. So? I think this
Considering
is
how young he is does that change things for you? So like 24, 25 right now? Terens is 30.
To me, again, I'm going to bring up a Yankee. Sorry. But to me, Alvarez's career is parallel to Anthony Volpe's career.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think he just got sent down today.
Did they? He stinks. I
think they told him he's not going to be coming up with the team because the other guy's doing way better than him. Yeah, he got optioned.
Yeah, because he's a better player than him.
Yeah.
But you know what they'll end up doing? They'll end up DFAing McMahon or something like that and move Caballero to third base. And they'll bring Volpe up because they wanted Volpe to be the face of the franchise with Judge. I think the Mets kind of had that. They had to. The dude was the number one prospect. So they had that same they wanted the same thing for Alvarez. So they thought that was going to happen, and it didn't. And they've been in the majors for the same amount of years. They've had the same type of careers. Like Volpe won a Gold Glove that he didn't deserve, right? He hit a few home runs, didn't hit much for average, but they loved him, and then he stunk the next 2 years, right? Alvarez the same thing. Came up, hit a bunch of home runs, and then stunk the next 2 years. Well, he got hurt too, but
the problem
I don't know.
That they're looking for someone to replace Derek Jeter. It happens in every sport. I mean, I'm a Devils fan in hockey. Replacing Martin Brodeur, that's never going to probably ever have. He's like one of the top 3 goalies in all of history in hockey.
Yeah, in history,
and,
yeah.
You talk about Derek Jeter. They replaced him with Didi Gregorius, who's a really good shortstop for the Yankees.
Was excellent, by the way. And then they screwed him.
Yeah. Literally comes right after Jeter, plays very good, then goes to the Phillies and plays good there too. So he
got hurt while with the Yankees, right? And then he played only half a season. In that half a season, which I believe it was exactly 81 games. I might be wrong. He drove in like 60 runs. It was ridiculous. And then they got rid of him the next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
But the thing with Volpe, there was some, like when Volpe was getting ready to come up, the Yankees posted some picture of Anthony Volpe as a kid meeting Derek Jeter and thought that was going to translate to him being. I mean, I heard all about Volpe's going to be better than Francisco Lindor, and like, how's that going?
Yeah, that ain't working out.
It definitely ain't working out.
No.
Shea Parking Lot asking, sorry to say, but I'd move Alvarez and clear a path for Suero. Chris Suero, who's also in the minor leagues. There's also Kevin Parada that was a top prospect that the Mets got. I mean, I think Suero right now is higher ranked than Parada. Parada kind of fell off the face of the planet.
He did. I'm surprised they never threw him in a trade. Well, they still might, but
yeah, it's a possibility. Rosie K in the chat saying it was apparent that Beatty and Vientos had run the course last year, but the Mets went into the season without trying to find replacements for them. Don't trust that. Don't trust that front office. I think that the Mets were like, you know what? This is the year we're going to give these kids the chance to see if they can be full-time players. Beatty showed us a little something at the end of the season. Let's give Vientos the benefit of the doubt for 2024 and see if he bounces back from then. And, Alvarez is coming back from injury. And now that they're all not doing nothing, it's been a major reason. Forget the veterans, right? Like you mentioned, Bo Bichette's probably going to hit 280, 290, and he'll get his RBIs. But the Mets were banking on the kids taking the next step, and they never did. And that's been a big problem for this lineup and why they have been terrible this year. A shout out to Maureen in the chat with the $10 super chat. Really appreciate that. It says, thank you for being a safe space to vent every week. We all appreciate you, and I appreciate you and everyone that's in this chat right now. I want to get into some of the injury bugs that have plagued this team. Let's talk about Kodai Senga, because I said he was the X factor. You kind of were on the opposite side of the spectrum. And you're correct. You're correct on Kodai Senga. He just he's been awful this season. He had 2 good starts, and he reverted back to being awful. And we were trying to figure out if the moon wasn't aligned in the right direction for him. Is that if every day he's getting his exercise, like it's always something with Kodai Senga. And now he's got this back. This, I think it was like a spine injury that really put him on the IL, or is it a phantom IL? Because then they brought Christian Scott up. Like,
they found out he has no spine. That's what happened. He's spineless.
I can't.
Christian Scott sucks too, by the way.
Although he pitched pretty well on Friday.
His eye, that dude don't do it for me. I didn't see anything 2 years ago that made me go, "Oh shit, this guy's going to be really good." What I saw was a guy that threw pretty hard but didn't have an out pitch. If I hope you remember this, because maybe I'm wrong, but I think there was a game that he pitched against Paul Skeens 2 years ago. And the Mets got to Skeens right away. It was in Pittsburgh. The Mets got to Skeens right away, scored 2 runs off of him right away. They're winning 2-1. Of course, they didn't touch Skeens after that. They let Skeens pitch the 7th inning, which maybe they shouldn't have. And he was facing the top of the order. He gets them 1-2-3. They let Christian Scott pitch the 7th inning. He gives up a 3-run home run. I was like, how typical. So typical, man. I think maybe he can make a good reliever, but that means he's just a failed starter. So
you bring up a good point, because it feels like, as a entire team, the Mets don't have a killer instinct in them, right? Like, they'll get to a pitcher first inning, right? Any of the better pitchers. Maybe they'll score 1 run or 2 runs, but then go silent for the rest of the game. And that gives the other team hope, right?
Of course.
And then these pitchers, they don't have any out pitches, like you mentioned. There was walking batters. They're giving up the big hits. It just feels like the team just doesn't have that killer instinct in them.
Which to me shows, at least for me personally, Jeremy Hefner was overrated as a pitching coach. I know he's doing well now, allegedly. It's not him. It just got good pitches. Those pitchers are having good seasons.
It's early, because he was good with us in the first couple months, and
absolutely,
I want to see the next 3 months and how that works out for him.
Yep, and a championship wasn't won because the pitching coach was great, because the Mets didn't win in '86 because Mel Stottlemyre was a great pitching coach. That's not why they won. They won because they had Gooden and Darling and Ojeda and Aguilera, and that's why they won. Their pitching was really good. It had nothing to do with Mel Stottlemyre. So and the shit with the first base coach. He made a base stealer out of Soto. Soto can go anytime he wants. He doesn't need the first base coach to tell him, okay, go. No, he's a smart enough player to pick his spots. That's what it was. And I'm sure the guy worked with him. I'm giving him credit for that, but I'm not giving him credit for Soto's total success as a base stealer. It just happened to be he was the coach that year. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Senga sucks, man. I would have DFA'd his ass a long time ago, man.
Board Mets fan 86 says Senga is mentally soft, and he's probably right.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said.
I said even last year, even though I made him an X factor into this season, I said, like, everything has to align correctly for this guy. Everything has to work perfectly. There has to be a 6-man rotation. How many times last year was there issues with this guy's mechanics? He had nothing wrong with his arm. Like, his arm is healthy. Nothing has ever been wrong with it's either the hamstring, and it's been the mechanics that have been. That's how long it took him to come back from his injury that I guess Alonso caused.
He got blamed for it. Put it that way.
Yeah, and then he comes and we're trying to get him back on the field, and it's I didn't feel good pitching today.
Yeah.
Like my arms, like I don't know, man. I think that the Kodai Senga train has run its course. And then you look at the other side of the spectrum when it comes to pitching. I mean, how about Clay Holmes? transitions from a reliever. That's David Stearns' probably best move as a Mets president of baseball operations, is bringing in Clay Holmes, who I think right now, I mean, he
leads the league in ERA.
Yeah, he has been fantastic. He has been one of those guys, and we saw it last year at the end of the season, where he comes in and he gets the Mets to within a game of making it to the playoffs. Like he pitched big games, even though it started off with 5 innings. He is now working his way up to pitching 6-7, 1.69 ERA, and he's 4-2 to start the season.
So he's pitching deep enough into games that he's getting decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
Quality starts.
There you go. He has won me over. Because I was one of those guys last year. He was like, this dude goes 5 innings, man. He ain't shit, But now I'm like, all right. That's why I was annoyed when he took him out today. Get out there and push him one more batter.
Yeah.
Come on. He's your horse.
And
He's
that was
horse.
the error, right? The error that
was the error,
took him
yes.
out.
Yep.
Let him try to get the
I agree.
The one more out. I mean, 6 2/3 would have had 7. That would have been his last 3 starts: 6 2/3, 6 innings, 7 innings. I think the thing I love about Clay Holmes the most is he goes against all of analytic logic and what they're trying to make pitchers now. Strikeout, hard throwing. This guy, ground ball. I don't care how you get the out. Just get the out. If it's ground balls all day, great. Less pitches you have to throw.
Great point by Shea Parking Lot. They let that what was his name? Kahanchowicz or whatever his name was, 111 pitches. And he was losing. And they let him go. Well, I'm sure he didn't implode when he got to the dugout, right? I'm sure he's fine. Like they coddle everybody. That's 111 pitches. Thank you. Guess what? I hope you throw 120 the next game. That's why these guys all get Tommy John, because they're taught to throw as hard as they can
as kids.
Yes, for as long as they can, which is usually only 4 or 5 innings, right? That's what I saw in this. That's why I'm glad they traded him. What's his name? Sproat.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy that I saw enough of him. I saw enough of him to go, nah, if this guy's going to be anything, it's going to be as a reliever. He's not a good starter. And by the way, on that tip, I know they went and they got Peralta and said, oh, look, see, we got an ace. They should have gone for Alcantara. I would have traded Tong for him. I would have traded Sproat for him. I would have thrown Jet Williams in there. Whatever it took to get Alcantara, it would have made. You think they would have lost 11 in a row with Alcantara on this team? I don't think so. I could be wrong because Miami has sucked before. Oh, he was not good in the beginning last year, but he was very good in the second half last year, and he's been good this year. That's the guy you wanted, not Peralta. He's just like settled for Peralta.
Yeah,
I don't get it, man. Oh, was this Alcantara's not a Stearns guy? Oh, that's a fair point, but
we know as soon as in the offseason, Freddie Peralta said, I want 7 to 8 years. I was like, yeah, he ain't staying here. I don't care if he knows David Stearns. He ain't staying here.
You better go commit a crime so you could get 7 or 8 years in jail, because that's the only 7 or 8 years you're going to be getting, man. No way.
He has been, like you said, it's been more like a 3 or 4 type starter.
Absolutely. Like I don't even find his stuff so great. I'm not looking at him going, like, if I'm a hitter, I'm not looking at him going, oh man, I got to face Peralta today. No, I'd be like, I'm definitely getting 1 hit at least off this dude today.
It's funny because the steal of that trade has been Tobias Myers.
Tobias Myers was a very good throw-in, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I like him.
I wonder at some point if he gets put in that rotation at some point, whether it's
I almost don't want him to.
You like him out of the bullpen.
I like him out of the bullpen. I like him at it. And what happened? Peterson stinks. I mean, he was okay to pass, and that's another thing. They bring Peterson in, right? And now he's pitching well, and then 3 2/3. Well, we got to take him out now. Why? Why are you taking him out? He's pitching. That's what you wanted him to pitch well. He's pitching well, but now we're going to take him out. And anyway, he's going to be gone after this year. He won't be there after this year.
No. They got to. He's basically Steven Matz. I mean, the guys can't get past 3 or 4 innings, and when they get into trouble, it is big trouble.
That's fair. Mm-hmm.
To a point now where we're having David Peterson come in after an opener. Like, you really have to be down in the dumps if you're coming in after an opener. You can't start the game.
You can't start the game.
So what are we doing? Now we're moving instead of it being the 3rd inning where he gets into trouble, it's now the 4th or the 5th inning.
Yeah, 4th or the 5th. Yeah.
Trouble here.
But see, that's Stern shit. That's that analytical shit. Those are his guys going, hey, boss, maybe if we try this might work.
Yeah. The Shea parking lot saying, hate to say we are being held hostage by David Stearns. A lot of fans feel that way. Fans are already done. I already seen it. They are already done with David Stearns. The luster is off of that. And look, going back to the injuries here, I mentioned to you Ronnie Mauricio off the air. You didn't know about that one.
I didn't.
And he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Got a fractured left thumb sliding into first base. I mean, the kid can't catch a break, right, from that injury at the offseason of 2023 in the Winter League.
Winter League, yeah.
And to this one, I mean, this was an opportunity for him with Francisco Lindor being out as long as he was going to be out to be the shortstop and get some significant playing time. He had the game-winning home run on Friday night.
Which I called, by the way. I called that one.
Well, batting lefty. We like him batting lefty. Batting righty, not so much. You should just.
I turned to my wife and I said, Mo, he's going yard right here. Poof. Mid-season form.
Launch that right out of there.
Yeah.
It sucks to not be able to see him get an opportunity here with the injury. But, now this is, I guess, an opportunity for Bo Bichette to play shortstop and for Brett Beatty to play third. I mean, there's not many more options. I mentioned they brought up Vidal Brujan, but he's not a starter. He's a bench piece. And they got, I guess, Christian Arroyo down there. Not many options for the Mets to go with here.
Yeah, Brujan's like a 180 hitter, man. He's okay defensively. I mean, is he a major leaguer? He's probably a quadruple A type of player.
Yeah.
But you're right. Well, what are you gonna do? You can't. There's not much you can do. So, yeah, we're stuck with this group of I don't want to call them losers, but they really are losers, man.
It's just the way that the team has been built. Like, David Stearns in the offseason, you see him in the beginning of the offseason, right? He doesn't make any big moves, right? He waits and waits. And then you see Richard Lovelady signs to minor league. He gets all the taxi cab players.
Yeah.
And it signs all those guys to bring up, and stop worrying about bringing up and sending down all of these, I guess, rejected players. I'm sorry to throw Richard Lovelady in there, but
I'm not.
He's come up, come down, goes to the Nationals, comes back. All the reliefs. Poor Austin Warren. He probably should be on this roster for good.
I don't have a problem with him.
No, and then they'll send him down to bring somebody else back because they want to play this numbers game of, okay, we're out of a reliever, so now we need to bring up somebody else. Oh, we'll send Austin Warren down, and if we lose him, we lose him. No, I mean, we've done that with a couple of relievers already that we've lost, like a Rico Garcia that went on to be good somewhere else. Stop. Like, if the guy's good, leave him. Like, you should have got better starting pitchers that go deeper into games, so we're not blowing out the relievers every other day.
Yeah, how about not letting Senga dictate a 6-man rotation? Okay, that was a big part of it, man. That was a big part of it. And the other part of that is Mania being awful.
Yeah. I
think he's washed, Dan. I think he's washed.
Mania, that's another, you can't do anything. You're stuck with this contracts now.
25 mil, right? Does he make 25
he still
mil?
has, he still has money left. I mean, as Shea Podcast said, you can release him, but like then you're still paying him. I mean, is it better to just release him?
I'd release Senga before I release him. That's for sure. But I think we could trace back to where Manaya's shitty pitching came from, and that was when he had a catch in center field with a good friend of ours named Hector.
Yeah,
they had
maybe
a catch
Hector in there,
and Hector messed up Sean Manaya. It's Hector's fault, man.
He got him to pitch extra innings that he wasn't supposed to be
That
playing.
he wasn't supposed to. He taxed his arm.
We'll have to talk about to Hector about this.
Yeah, Manaya's terrible, man. And I want him to be
such a
good,
guy.
man.
Yeah, such
Yes,
a good guy.
I want him to be good.
Great clubhouse guy. You want to talk about clubhouse guys. Sean Manaya is one of them. It sucks to see because that 2024 was so good for him. He changes the arm angle, and he was really good in the playoffs. And then, he suffers the injury and hasn't been the same since. So to see him struggle, I think you have to feel that it also hurt that he did not make the rotation. Like, I know he wasn't ready for it, but the fact that he was the one to go to the bullpen, especially with the way David Peterson has pitched, the way Kodai Senga has pitched, and he had to go down. I think that hurt the ego maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, and we all know these guys have egos, but maybe he's sitting there going, yo, they're letting this scrub Senga pitch instead of me, man. What's up with that? Because I can't stand. I'm going back to it. I can't stand Senga, man. That dude's a third tier Japanese pitcher that came here and dictated the whole the rotation, and I bet you part of that hurt Sean Manaya, man.
Yeah,
I can't say for sure.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. But yeah, too bad for Manaya because I really like him.
Good comment from Game for War, saying it's as if they fired Chavez but kept teaching his nonsense aim down on the ball BS hitting philosophy. That's why I'm like, when people ask, how the Mets can turn this around, how can they get better? I have no idea because they've changed hitting coaches. They've changed pitching coaches. Like they're doing all these changes. The team's worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what it's to fix.
Yeah. There's no answer right now. You're gonna just have to ride out with what they got, man, because it's not. It may get a little. Look, they're gonna have a streak where they'll win 8 out of 10 or something like that, and you'll do it, and I'll do it, and we'll be like, all right, maybe they'll lure us back in, and then they'll lose 7 out of 8 or something, and then it'll be done. That's it. It's just to me, it's just a matter of they're going to get rid of people. Who are they going to get rid of? That's what it is. They are. What are they, like 14 games behind already? Something like that.
It's awful. I mean,
it's got to be like 14 games.
Yeah, because the Braves got off to such a good start.
Yes,
they got up to a really good start to the season. Even the Phillies got off to an awful start after, and then fired Thompson. Now they've been playing better. They're 12 and a half games back after 1 month of baseball.
That's awful. That is awful. And let me ask you this, Ant. We had this was after you and I were on Hector's roundtable. We had another roundtable, and I brought this up to the guys. This was a couple weeks ago, and I said, the Mets have lost. At that time, it was 11. Then they lost the 12th game in a row. Mets have lost 11 games in a row. How many teams in the major leagues are going to lose 11 or 12 games in a row this year? How many teams do you think?
I'm going to say 2 or 3.
1 or 2, right? 3 the most. And it might not even happen. These dudes did it in April.
Yeah.
They did it in April.
It was the first time that they've done that since 2004. We're talking Art Howe, Kareem Garcia, Shane Spencer, Braden Looper. We're talking about what was his name? Jason Phillips. We're talking about those New York Mets.
God.
Like that's how bad it was. I think it was like Cliff Floyd's first year as a New York Met. He's probably like, why am I here?
What year was that?
2004.
04?
Art House second year as manager and final year, because then they went to Willie Randolph.
Right. Wow.
So I mean that to have it be that bad, and all the bad years that has happened, right? They've lost 12 or more, 62, 63, 81. Think one of the 70s, late 70 years during Grant's tomb. Those years, so those teams were never good. Like history is not on the Mets side for this to turn this around. They have they're supposed to have the talent on paper. They have the talent to come out of this, but you think about it. This could be. It may not end as bad, but this could be worse because of the talent on paper. Like they had no talent in 62 and 63. They had no talent in 81. Like 2004, like they
92 was bad too, right? 92 was bad.
93, but I don't think those. Yep. I don't think either of those two teams. 93 was worse, but I don't think any of those two teams had a 12-game losing streak.
No, that was Jeff Torborg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Torborg,
and then who did they bring in after him?
Dallas Green,
Dallas Green, right?
Maybe
Dallas Green. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. I was there for all that in the 70s and the 80s, and then Frank Cashin. Then he traded Dykstra. I believe it was him that traded Dykstra for Juan Samuel.
Yeah,
that didn't work out.
Wasn't it Dykstra and McDowell together?
I believe it was. Yes, it was. Yeah. That's right. Yep. Yeah, he broke that team up. I mean, there was bringing in Kevin McReynolds. That was another one. McReynolds was a good player, but he just was not a fit for the team. And
then Mitchell went on to win the MVP with San Francisco in '89.
Everybody loved Mitchell too. Like, leave the guy alone. He was a young kid, but no.
Yeah, they got
rid of Kevin McReynolds.
They got rid of Ray Knight, who was
let him go to Baltimore.
The leader of that locker room, as one of the big leaders that doesn't get really talked about, because we always hear Keith, we always hear Gary, and them not bringing back Ray Knight kind of really hurt the dynamic of the team. So
although Hojo got to play more, so
he did.
Hojo got to play more.
Hojo, he was like a Dick McNeil moving all over the place.
Yep. Hojo play center field. Hojo play second base. Hojo play shortstop. Hojo was a really good player, man. So underrated. Really good player. For all of you that didn't see Hojo, Howard Johnson play, the dude was a really good player, man. He had a cannon of an arm. But his teams that he played on stunk too.
The thing so is, much. The Mets have always built themselves around pitching, right? Never really much hitting until that 80s team was really when they really built their offense. But it's always been pitching, right? 69 was pitching. 86 was pitching.
88 was pitching.
88 was pitching. Right? 2015 was the pitching staff.
Yep.
Even 2022, that was, the pitching with DeGrom and Scherzer and Chris Bassett, those guys. So, you look at that and what killed the Mets, in 2000, they didn't have enough pitching. As good as it wasn't enough to beat the Yankees. 2006, best lineup that I've ever watched. They didn't have the pitching, right? Pedro goes down. Now Duque goes down. They didn't have the pitching. They couldn't go to the World Series. So this team has always prided themselves in pitching, but they really haven't developed much.
No, they haven't.
We hear about all these great prospects. Is that a thing that bothers you too? Is that we hear all about these prospects, and over the last 5 to 6 years, who's really developed outside of Alonso? Yeah, they haven't really developed.
Where are they? Yeah. Like How do you feel about Tong?
You
Right?
see, I didn't want him a part of the trade for Freddie Peralta. Like, I was okay with
Neither
trading
did I.
Sproat.
Neither did I.
I was okay with trading Sproat. I was fine with that. But I kind of wanted, I thought that he was really young, really raw, and kind of got put in a bad spot because they wanted
Absolutely.
him to be the savior of a team that was falling apart. And I didn't think that was right for a kid who only pitched, I think, 2 games in AAA. Like, I want to see growth from him. He needs to get the checkpoints before he comes up here. Nolan McLean, another animal, another story. Like, he was ready for prime time.
Yeah, he Nolan McLean looks like I said this to somebody the other day. I was like, my man looks like he's a dude that's been in the league for like 10 years, smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day. You know, he just like this grizzled veteran, and he's only like 24 or 25 or something. But he's got it. He's got balls. He's you could tell he's not afraid. Right. And I don't think Tong is afraid. I think there's as we saw last year, at least I saw, there were situations where he was like, oh shit, how am I gonna get out of this? You know?
Yeah.
But he's a kid. But I'm so on the fence about him. Like I want him to do well. I want him to come up here and be that guy. I just don't know if he's going to do it. So
yeah. He had a good outing last time out. I think he only gave up 1 hit. But
yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
He's been very wishy-washy, like very, very back and forth on his starts. Let him get the season down in AAA.
Agreed.
You got Christian Scott up here. Let him take the lumps.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let him get beat up for a little while. I agree.
Yeah. That's the way it should be with these guys. Don't rush these kids up to be this. That's what like the Mets have done over the past. Like when they brought up Alvarez and Beatty and Vientos, they wanted them to save the back half of the 2022 season in a huge series. Don't do that to these kids. They shouldn't be put in those positions. Like this is why I like the way they brought up Carson Bench, because he wasn't supposed to be a main cog in this lineup. You put him at 8 or 9, see him develop out there in the outfield. Yes, his hitting has not been, great this season, but he plays good defense in the outfield. He's got an arm, and the bat is starting to come around a little bit. Let him grow here the way that he can. Don't expect him to be, saving this lineup when Simeon can't hit or when Bo Bichette can't hit, or Soto, strikes out with the bases loaded like he did on Saturday night. I mean,
yes.
That's where it's at. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of the show today. It was a lot of fun doing this with you. And obviously we'll do this again. I'm pretty sure we'll be on with Hector at some point during one of his panels.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Tell everyone about your podcast and where they could follow you and stuff like that.
Okay. My podcast is called the I'd Hit That Podcast. All one word, no apostrophe, nothing, all one word. If you space the words out, you're gonna get a drummer's podcast, and I don't even know that those guys post anything. But me and my partner Mikey, and I, let me correct grammar here. Usually we're on Tuesday nights live, 7 p.m. on YouTube. I don't think we're gonna do one this weekend because, as I was telling you, Ant, I'm heading back to New York from being in Puerto Rico. Yeah. I've been in Puerto Rico for 4 months now. By the way, I was a iguana wrangler today. My wife's like, ah! And I'm like, what? Big ass iguana, man. And I took my my weed whacker, and they don't like the noise, so I'm like, ugh. And this iguana ran so hard into a wall. It has to be in concussion protocol now. Like it just hit, and I chased him around. But that's what I deal with out here. But yeah, so I'm heading back to New York. The next show we do will probably be May 12th, and it will be in the studio. We actually have a studio, man.
Nice.
Yeah, we don't even have 100 subscribers, but we have a studio.
The aesthetics have to look great, right? Gotta have the aesthetics looking great.
We're so low rent. But I tell you, I know you want to get off, but for that hour and a half that Mikey and I do the show, our show's different than this. Our show is it's more comedy. It's sports, but we goof on everybody. Like we don't care. And I have such a great time with him for that hour and a half. We laughed so hard. And you guys should check it out. If you like laughing, check it out. All the episodes are there on YouTube. And
you're live. You can be a part of the chat and all that stuff. I was
absolutely. Yes. Your chat is great, by the way. Your chat is awesome, man. They're very very smart, very informative. And thanks for accepting me, by the way.
Absolutely. Make sure to follow Ant, and I'll have all the information. You can find his Twitter. You can find the YouTube page. That's all in the description of this show. So make sure you subscribe to that. And you can follow me on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Subway to Shea. Follow me personally at Ant Rivera 86. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The show will be up as soon as I get off of here. I'll start doing a little bit of editing, and then I will have the show up for you probably before midnight. But if you want to be a part of the chat and conversation, you're doing that right here on YouTube like we did tonight. A lot of fun having you be a part of the show, every single one of you. And for Ant Squared, and we'll be doing this again at some point. For Ant Squared, this has been the Subway to Shea podcast. Always remember, let's go Mets.